Welcome back. That was a great break, Adam. How was that break?
That was an interesting commercial.
Very interesting. We're
The
back
YouTube
with.
the YouTube viewers, they don't have the commercials, just the podcast listeners, huh?
We haven't been able
Oh,
to
we haven't
splice
done
in.
the vintage commercials yet?
Not yet. I mean, I've done it audio only on Anchor, but not on the YouTube links.
Okay, yeah.
And then also our episodes are split into three right now, so people can choose their segment. Well, we're getting there. I just want to
Yeah.
put a lot of videos out there first and see how many hits we can get. So we're back and talking about crossovers, and this is when one or two or more shows cross over into another show. It's a very odd trope, but it's used very effectively.
Yeah.
Adam, what shows would you have loved to see crossover or would still love to see crossover?
Ooh. Um,
Wish list.
when I was a kid, I really wanted to see the Wonder Years and Brooklyn Bridge crossover. Even though they were like different time frames, like I don't even know how that would work, you know, but maybe like some weird temporal thing. I don't know, like often with crossover shows, there was uh there were supernatural things at play sometimes.
Like the Jetsons meet the Flintstones.
Like the Jetsons meet the Flintstones. Exactly. Like
There was like the witch thing that somehow made that
yeah.
happen.
There was also the Sabrina the Teenage Witch, like um like TGIF lineup where her pet cat like ate this time ball, and then he went to Boy Meets World, and he went to Teen Angel and some other show that I can't remember, and sent all those shows back in time, but like also interacted with the cast. So like,
Interesting.
yeah. So there could have been some like Kevin's family goes on a trip to New York. Oh wait, were they from like Long Island or something like that?
No, I think they were in California.
Because he was a Jets fan, remember?
I want to say that the Wonder Years was based in California. The show.
Now I'm not sure.
Let's look that up.
Yeah. Yeah, but as a kid, I really wanted to see that crossover. Uh,
Anytown, USA.
Anytown, USA. That's
Yeah.
where it was set.
He
Yeah, because he was
wanted to set it in Huntington, Long Island. You're right.
okay. Because I thought it was like set in. It felt like it was set in Long Island, and he was a Jets fan, and he wasn't the only person that was a Jets fan.
But
So,
ABC insisted that no city or state was ever mentioned,
hmm.
which is cool.
Yeah, I like that. But yeah, like if his family took a trip to New York, and then Kevin somehow like walked back in time and interacted with the kids from Brooklyn Bridge. I'd like to see that episode.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I think it would have been cool if Alf had a crossover with Chips.
I did not see that coming. I was like,
and they became friends.
X-Files or
yeah, he became friends with Punch and John, and they have to like hide him from the government. That'd be sweet.
Dude, I loved Chips. I love Chips.
I did too.
Yeah.
90210 crossing over with Seinfeld would be weird.
I don't even know how that would work.
But it would be awesome. It'd be you'd watch that.
Yeah, I would watch it. I don't even know how many times I've watched Seinfeld, like from beginning to end.
I think Seinfeld stopped giving a shit in season 7 through 9. Larry David left.
Yeah, but
it was so good.
But what's his name? The guy who directed Borat and he did a bunch of Sacha and Baron Cohen projects. He was the guy who took over for Larry David as like the head writer, but he had been on it since like season 2 or season 3, and his name is similar to Larry David.
Yeah.
And they worked again together again on that. What was that film he did called like Reboot or something like that, where like Larry David starts his life over. He's the owner of a electric car company, and
Never heard of
the
this.
company's like not doing well, and then he leaves the company, and it like the stock goes like through the roof. The company like takes off and is like huge, and he moves to like a tiny like New England town. Like,
Oh,
oh,
it's a New England
he's in
town.
like Martha's Vineyard, right? Working at like a tackle store or something like that.
Yeah, it's
And
always a New England town.
yeah, and then his old partner from the company is building a summer home there in Martha's Vineyard,
Mm.
and he's gonna like he tries to like steal his wife as a way to get revenge on him.
Wow, that sounds like a
not
great film.
not knowing that he's really building a house in Martha's Vineyard because he has cancer and he's dying, and he just wants to like live somewhere nice with his family while he, till he dies. So
Wow. What's the name of this movie?
uh gosh, I can't remember.
Sour Grapes?
That's a good title for it.
I mean, there was a Seinfeld or Larry David
And
produced
it's
film that did not do well named Sour Grapes.
gosh, and what is his name? It's one of the guys
Larry
from
Charles.
Larry Charles. That was his name.
Yeah.
He was the guy that took over as the head writer. Hey, what's going on? Wait, what are you doing? I'm filming. Yeah, they can
That's
see
great.
you. We can see and hear you.
Hi. So BuzzFeed did an article last August, 22 TV crossovers that were really, really clever. And I'm going to go through the list really quick. When Abed from Community showed up in the background as a background actor in Cougar Town.
Like this?
Yeah. When Parks and Rec star Little Sebastian wound up in The Good Place. That's pretty cool. These are recent.
I haven't seen that show.
Number 3, the fact that Ursula from Mad About You is the twin sister of Phoebe from Friends. And when Kramer from Seinfeld had a little cameo in Mad About You.
That I don't remember.
And then he also had a little cameo on the Comedy Store stage that ended his career.
Yeah, everybody remembers that.
When the guys from Sarah Jane Adventures and Torchwood, 2 shows, crossed over into an episode of Doctor Who. No idea what that means. Pretty much every Arrowverse crossover, but especially Crisis on Infinite Earths, where every DC character shows up.
Yeah, it wasn't Arrow the show where like Flash was on all the time.
Supergirl's in this. The new Lois and the new Superman and Lois show is so good. The pilot blew me away. Little nod. CW does it right, by the way, with their DC shows.
I was a big fan of the new Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman.
Yeah.
On Sundays, wasn't it?
Supergirl and The Flash crossed over. They got stuck in a musical with the Music Meister. That was a great episode. Olivia Pope from Scandal showed up to give Annalise Keating her support in How to Get Away with Murder. Both Shondaland shows. When Raven from That's So Raven, Miley and Zach and Cody joined forces. So Raven, Miley, Zach, and Cody.
So Zach and Cody from like
all joined forces on That's So Sweet Life of Hannah Montana. Hands down, the triple crossover between the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, That's So Raven, and Hannah Montana, groundbreaking, iconic, and unforgettable. The critic Lucy B548FA34EE. And of course, the Wizards on Deck with Hannah Montana. Jetsons Meet the Flintstones. Timmy Power Hour, a crossover trilogy. Jimmy Neutron, Timmy Turner. Don't know who the hell that is.
Oh, from Fairly Odd Parents.
When Jess from New Girl went to New York and ran into
Which
Jake from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Jason Marsden was on Fairly Odd Parents. He was one of the regulars. He did like 25 different voices on that show.
James Marsden did?
Jason Marsden.
Oh, his brother.
They're not brothers.
Oh, we've talked about
I thought
this
they
before.
were. I thought they were. Yeah.
Some weird boys.
Most of the voice actors on Fairly Odd Parents handled like 40 voices or more. He actually he did like 22 voices or so, and that wasn't a lot compared to some of his cast members.
Jess from New Girl, which I love, with Zoe Deschanel, went to New York and ran into Jake from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which I didn't know. Carly and Tori dated the same guy, and iParty with Victorious was born. So iCarly. Booth from Bones had a vision of Stewie from Family Guy, which was weird. I remember that. Michael from
I remember that one,
yeah. Michael Bluth from
hearing about it at least.
Michael Bluth from Arrested Development went on a TV studio tour and interrupted the filming of Malcolm in the Middle.
Yes, I remember that episode. That was really funny. Wasn't that he was on a date with Charlize Theron?
I think so. Yeah.
Episode? Yeah.
Steve from Family Matters visited Stephanie from Full House to make her feel better about wearing glasses.
Yep.
When Archer from went undercover and worked at the restaurant in Bob's Burgers, same voice actor. When Salem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch sent the kids from Boys Meet Worlds back in time.
Yep, that was the one I was talking about. And there was also, we always have to talk about Melissa Joan Hart.
She keeps coming up, man. It's because she follows you on Twitter. It was meant to be.
Yep.
Platonically, of course, because you're a married man.
Exactly. She's married too. Step by Step.
Oh.
And Boy Meets World also crossed over in Disneyland.
Yeah.
They both had Disneyland episodes at the same time and ran into one another.
Phineas and Ferb work with the Avengers.
Didn't somebody do that in Hawaii? Didn't two shows cross over in Hawaii also? Like
Modern Family?
No. Like back the Seavers. I feel like they ran into some other show when they went to Hawaii. Because the Hawaii episode, that was like a big thing in the 80s, right?
Oh yeah.
We could probably do a whole episode just on Hawaiian episodes, like TV shows where the cast went to Hawaii.
So Growing Pains and Just the 10 of Us had
yeah, they had a crossover episode.
Yeah, in season 3 of Just the 10 of Us. Season 3 of Just the 10 of Us, it went on for that long.
Wow. Oh wait, they went to Hawaii together?
It just says
because there was also the episode where the coach from Just to the 10 of Us was Mike's coach. Mike's like
yeah, his buddy. Yeah. They were like
his coach. He was his like coach at school.
Mike Seaver?
Mike Seaver, he was Mike Seaver's coach at school.
Oh, Mike Seaver was Kirk Cameron.
Yeah. And he also, I feel like that coach like occasionally taught other classes on Growing Pains.
Interesting.
He was on Growing Pains for a little while before they introduced his family and before he got his own show. Like he was like Mike's health school teacher. But they would all call him Coach, whatever, you know?
Oh, Coach.
Yeah. And then there was an episode where his family came over to the Seavers house for dinner. And the mom was like, had to like put all the like borrow tables to have
I
enough
think, yeah, this is
seating room.
season three
Yeah,
episode.
to have like enough seating room for all of them to sit down together.
47 episodes. Wow. I did not know that.
And Ben was trying to mac it to one of the daughters.
Ben Seaver was such a cute. I mean, we talked about this last time. Um, Blossom and the Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
Oh yeah, they crossed over.
I don't remember this. Why
Almost
don't
forgot
I
about that
remember
one.
this?
Almost forgot about that one.
CSI Miami
I
and
feel like that was
CSI
a
New York.
I feel like that might have been a dream sequence.
The Office and The Office.
The Blossom Fresh Prince crossover.
Roseanne and Absolutely Fabulous.
Gosh, was there two?
Batman and the Green Hornet.
I feel like there might be two.
24 and The Simpsons.
Yeah, we talked about the Batman Green Hornet one. And then there's the
Mr. Robot and Elf. Mr. Robot and Alf.
Oh yes, Alf was in a Mr. Robot episode. It was a dream sequence though.
Yeah.
It was one of those it's all a dream episodes.
Rami Malek.
It's all a dream episodes.
Everybody Loves Raymond and King of Queens.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about it, the boys from Supernatural went to Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
If you think about it, it's all just a money-making conglomerate.
Yeah, to do the crossover.
And now they're did you remember when North Korea got a hold of Sony emails and there was a crossover 23 Jump Street and Men in Black movie?
Yes. It was like leaked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Script never.
Nope, didn't happen.
That's rare to see. You rarely see
A crossover
in
franchise.
movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's rare to make a movie out of it.
Yeah.
Freddy versus Krueger.
But you know what? In the current studio system, I'm not surprised.
Freddy versus Jason, King Kong versus Godzilla, Batman versus Superman. I mean, that's kind of sort of. Let's see. Last
wasn't there
wish.
a crossover with Night Court and something?
I think Night Court did cross over with something. Night Court was awesome.
Night Court Cheers crossover is what I got.
No, My Two Dads and Night Court.
Oh.
It's considered a spinoff too.
Of Night Court Night Court is a spinoff of Cheers?
No, My Two Dads is a spinoff of Night Court. So I know we're not, yeah, it's sort of odd, but My Two Dads could be a considered spinoff. Very strange. Stacey Keenan, she went on to be on Step by Step. She was great.
Oh, wait. Harry Anderson was on Cheers.
As Harry.
Yeah, and then he was on he was Judge Harry Stone on Night.
But he wasn't a judge in Cheers. He was a musician, remember? Remember that he was a comedian, that actor?
Right. Yeah.
He did like Gallagher style, like Magic, the Amazing Jonathan comedy in the 80s.
Yeah. The judge he did that as a judge too. He did Magic, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And then there was Bull, and then Pearl.
And then he had Dave's World, that show Dave's World.
Yeah. Ugh. Oh, I mean, it was based off of Dave Barry.
I remember a crossover that I really liked, The Simpsons and The Critic.
Oh, yeah, The Critic.
The Critic was on Simpsons. There was a Simpsons episode, and what was his name? Jay something. I can't remember his character's name. Jay something. It stinks. That was his catchphrase.
It stinks.
It stinks. And So there was like a film festival in Springfield and he was the judge. He like
Oh,
came and he was the judge. And it's kind of a really artsy, weird episode, like because different characters, like Barney makes a film, and like so there's like they're all in different films, like film modes, like there's like a new wave film, and like it's kind of a really cool Simpsons episode.
I'll have to look that up. I have
Yeah.
like 800 episodes on Disney Plus to get caught up on. So,
My friend Steve Steven Dolfo said that Simpsons has been on so long that the early fans and like the new fans um, like can make references that neither one can get. Like it's the only show that you can like. There's like different sets of fans that can make references to that show that go over the heads of other fans of the same show.
it's been on for 30 years. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. There is it 31 now?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
outrageous.
yeah. Well,
Well, this has been fun. Gonna go ahead and wrap this up.
yeah. Oh,
This
I
was,
got I have my movie picks ready.
oh, you do? All
Yes, I do.
right, let's do those real quick.
Okay. So first off, uh, a couple classics that are on Prime. In the Soup, which is a film about filmmaking, stars Steve Buscemi and the late and great Seymour Cassell.
Hmm.
Seymour Cassell is phenomenal in this movie.
From Rushmore. Yeah, he's
Heart,
great.
yeah. Oh, he's so good. He's
Hmm.
so heartbreaking ending. Great movie about independent filmmaking and like what it takes to get a film made and all that. And sometimes the shady people that you deal with to try to get a film made.
Like
Um,
Bowfinger.
yeah. And then next up, Birdie, childhood favorite. Uh, Loved it, grew to love it after it was like playing on like TBS or TNT or WPIX or something like that for like months. And it's Matthew McConaughey and Nicolas Cage, and uh, he comes back from the Vietnam War, and he thinks he's a bird,
Hmm.
and he's like trying to be a bird. It's it's a crazy movie. It's a great movie about friendship, though. Like
That's going back a few
because
years, this movie.
he like gets in the tree with him and all that stuff. Yeah, it's from the 80s. It's a good one. Uh, and two more picks from Prime. RoboCop, mostly because now they're talking about doing RoboCop Returns,
Mm.
which was supposed to be the script that followed up RoboCop, because what's the Paul Verhoeven? He
Hmm.
was like, I'm not going to do a sequel unless it's a totally different movie. He's like, it's got to be something totally different. And so the writers came up with this thing where in the first like 10 minutes, RoboCop gets like crushed and like turned into like dust. But then somebody like preserves it and like cryogenically freezes it. And
Uh,
then, yeah, and then they reanimate him, like put him back together way in the future. And it's even more dystopian. And then the story goes on from there. But um yeah, they started talking about maybe rebooting it, but the original is crazy. The original RoboCop, it's just satire of American life.
yeah, I love that movie. That was my
Like all
first rated
the
R.
yeah, all the TV commercials and news broadcasts and stories they
Hmm.
tell and stuff is like it's so crazy. But the real gem on Prime is a movie called Get Duped, produced by Eddie Izzard. It's newer. It was like Amazon bought it at a festival. It says Amazon original, but this was an independently produced film. It's great. Eddie Izzard is in it. James Cosmos, who I always remember. I always associate him with Braveheart. He was the old guy in Braveheart who like had to they like stuck him with the hot poker to pull the like arrow out of his chest or whatever.
Hmm.
And but he was on Game of Thrones. He's in a ton of stuff. Um, he's like, so they have some minor characters in it that are like bigger name draws, but then the main cast is these young guys, and two of them are easily going to be big stars. We're going to hear from like a bunch more. One of the guys, he's already been in some other stuff already since it, but it's hysterical. Like, I haven't laughed out loud at a movie in a long time. A
Get
long
Duke,
time.
that's called.
Get duped. Get duped. And so what it's about is this program set up by the school, like the school board in the UK, and they take the four worst students every year and make them do this thing through the Scottish like Highlands
Hmm.
where like it's a survival camping thing, but really the royal family hunts the kids,
I think I've heard
these
about that.
students, and it's like to weed out like the bad in society, you know. But these kids like fight back and stuff. It's amazing. It's so funny and totally took me by surprise. Never heard anything about it. The comments on Amazon are totally like either 1 star or 5 star. Like people either love it or they hate it because they're like, oh, they dump on old people. But that's not true. They do at the beginning of the movie, but then they end up teaming up with these old farmers. And
Oh,
like,
cool.
yeah, and like, like generally the generation line is blurred and all that stuff. They realize old people are just like young people, they just have to have responsibilities.
We're at
And
the
then, yeah, I only have one more pick,
okay.
is uh, Barking Dogs Never Bite, which is uh, Bon Joon, Bon Joon, uh, Bon Joon, oh, Bon
Hmm?
Joon, the director of Parasite.
Oh, okay.
It's his first film, and it's about a college professor who doesn't work. His wife works. She kind of like hands that over his head all the time, like makes him do all this like degrading stuff because he doesn't have a job and doesn't have an income. And he is like driven mad by the barking dogs that are in his apartment complex. And he
Hmm.
like tries to kill one, but like he like kidnaps a dog and like he tries to kill it, but then he almost gets caught. So then he like lets it go. And then that person ends up anyways. So it's a really crazy movie. It's hysterical and it's definitely a good insight into him as a director and like, like where his filmmaking would go. And that's playing on Hulu.
That's on Hulu.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, when we launch this on YouTube, we'll put those titles underneath our comment section. Thank you so much for suggesting those.
Yeah. Sorry, I went a little long with that.
Oh, you're fine. It's just more editing later. No big deal. Not a big deal. Well, thank you for joining us on this episode. Our next episode is going to talk about saddest episodes of all time. We've all been there where they kill off a character and we don't expect it. Traumatizes us. And that's what our next topic is going to be. So get those wheels a turning, Adam. All right.
I already got some stuff that's popped into my head.
Yeah, I bet you do. Same here. My medicine just came apart. So from the TV Time Machine podcast, I'm Luis.
And I'm Adam.
And we love TV.
And we're
Thank
out.
you.
See you next time.